Hey guys, it is Bible Scribe. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I am going to do a topic today that to me, it actually just came to me the other day when I was in church. It is titled The Yearning of Modern Christianity. And it was because as I was sitting there, I was listening to praise music, and of course, there was a sermon. But as I was listening to the words and thinking about what we were saying, everything seemed to be wrapped up in a waiting or life is terrible right now and it will get better, or we just don't understand how God works. So it was all about almost like unmet expectations. And so it felt like a yearning. It's almost like we were being programmed to yearn for things of Christ, for his kingdom, for his glory, all these different things. But everything was something that was coming but wasn't here yet. And so this video and topic came to mind. I think it's important to talk about this because if you are a member of a church, I think as members of a church, we need to be very introspective about what it is we're participating in and what we're doing and what it all means in the context of our lives. So that is where this topic came from. Now, I've put the information together on my website, and I have this new website. I wanted to let you guys know about that in this video also, and that is bible-scribe.com. And you can see on the video here, I've put it there for you so you can easily see how that looks. But what I'm going to do is as I post these videos, I'm also going to post a blog page with all my notes at the same time. And as I finish the video, I'll include it there on the site as well. So this is just another thing. I'm putting this information together anyway, so it's not difficult for me to add it to this website for you guys, or for anyone who's out there searching on the web and maybe they don't find the video, they find the website or whatever, and that'll be great. So just to let you know that's available, and that if I mistakenly forget to put information in the description for the video, that all the information is going to be on the website. So I will try every single time to post the link to the post on my website for the video, and that will be available to you. So I hope it's helpful. So talking about this subject of the yearning of modern Christianity, I have a few sections on my site, but I'll go to that post. It's the first one in this section, Modern Christianity. But the yearning of modern Christianity, do you yearn or find yourself yearning for Christ? Like, do you want him? A lot of the songs we sing talk about wanting him and not having him or missing him or waiting for him. But do you feel like you are waiting for him? Do you feel incomplete? Is that the feeling you get when you're in church and when you're singing the praise songs, when you're doing the things? Do you feel like we should be waiting for Christ? Everything is about waiting for him to come back for us, to come back here. Do you feel worthless because of your sin? Like you're waiting for him to fix you maybe in the future. Like maybe he'll come back and he'll fix us, right? Or that concept is in a ton of churches. What do you lack, or what do you think you lack to be what he has asked you to be? All right? That's the question we really got to get to. Is there something we really are lacking before we can do all the things or be all the things that he wants us to be and has commanded of us? And so we're going to kind of think and talk about that. But this statement here, the modern institutional Christian life seems to be full of this yearning and waiting and unrealized expectations. It just seems to be, as if you examine it from the outside kind of agnostically and look at the things that we're saying, the things we're singing about, the things that are being preached from the pulpits, it seems to be yearning, waiting, and someday it will come types of things. So let's explore this a little bit more. One of the things, like I said, when I was in church and I had this moment where I realized what we were doing was all about unmet expectations, it was while we were singing. And so I realized at that moment, and I started thinking about it, all the songs, lots of different songs that we hear in Christian music, or that we sing in praise songs, are talking about, you know, things not being great, but that they will be someday, right? And so this yearning, this wanting and waiting is echoed in almost, I mean, I can't even imagine what the percentage is. It's got to be super high. But I went, in preparation of this video, I went to songlyrics.com and I went to the category of Christian lyrics, and I simply, they have a top 15 songs, and I simply clicked down through those songs. I mean, I've heard most of them. You probably have too if you're a Christian and listen to any Christian music. But as I did that, I found like most of these songs that we listen to, you know, that are sung by Christians are about this kind of like waiting. Like it's not great. And I don't know why. And I'm waiting for God. I'm waiting for Jesus to do something. And so like this one, Mercy Me, this is the song Even If. Listen to some of the lyrics. Right now I'm losing bad. I stood on this stage night after night reminding the broken it'll be all right. I know you're able and I know you can save through the fire with your mighty hand, but even if you don't, my hope is you alone. Again, it's this like everything's horrible and I'm praying for it to be better, but it seems like it's not, and so I'm waiting, you know, and even if you don't, you're going to hear that again and again. They say it only takes a little faith to move a mountain, but God, when you choose to leave mountains unmovable, give me the strength to be able to sing It's Well With My Soul. So this mountains unmovable thing is one of these, and we're going to see this actually in a couple of these songs. There's a few songs I threw on here just to look at these lyrics, but this thing about the mountain moving, now that's from Matthew chapter 17 and a couple other places in the Gospels. It's in the Synoptic Gospels, but this is where Jesus is, and we have to realize Jesus is talking to the disciples. It's right after the transfiguration. And they come to Jesus and they ask, why couldn't we cast out this demon in this guy? And he says, because of your unbelief. And he said, if you had even the faith as a mustard seed, that you would be able to say to this mountain, move, and it would move. But because of your unbelief, you couldn't cast this demon out. And then he says, and apart from that, it also takes prayer and fasting for this type of demon to come out. So, you know, that statement by Jesus, I think, often taken out of the context to mean something that it can't mean and doesn't mean for us. Thinking that because you have faith and you're going to be able to do something as monumental as move a mountain. For one thing, Jesus wasn't making a literal statement. He was telling the disciples that essentially he was just saying that if they had the faith, then everything he told them they could do, which if you look in the Gospels earlier in Matthew, he has given them a list of things that they'll be able to do, like healing, casting out demons, raising the dead, all these things that he told the 12 disciples about that they could do. And so now they're coming to him saying, well, why couldn't we do that thing? And it's because they didn't have the faith that he actually meant what he had said to them. But in our modern times, you know, we can't assume that thing that was said to the 12 disciples and no one else was said to us. But that is the problem with that. And so you're going to see in these songs a lot of people thinking, oh, I should be able to move the mountain. Why doesn't it move? And then in these songs, of course, it's like, oh, but I trust you anyway. I trust you. Even though nothing I expect to happen, unmet expectations is happening. In this next song, Dan and Shay's When I Pray For You, and this was actually a pretty good song. I like the song, and I like the concept of praying for someone, you know, and being persistent about that. That is scriptural and an awesome part of the song. But then again, we come back to like, when everything around me breaks, I look up and hear him say, when this life knocks you down, I hope you get down on your knees. So, you know, just to show this kind of defeated feeling, this defeated attitude in Christianity that I think leads to this kind of waiting and watching mentality. Like something's coming maybe, but we feel defeated right now. Casting Crowns song, Oh My Soul, it says this, you lost control. This was the one thing you didn't see coming. No one would blame you, though, saying in the case of a sin is what it's talking about. This person sinned, and no one would blame you because it was difficult, whatever. It says, he will make a way. Let him show you how. He can lay this down because you're not alone. that someday it all works out because this is the valley. Read that again. Someday it all works out because this is the valley. And essentially all these songs are going to be saying the same thing, like, oh, we're in the valley now. This is the horrible time. This life is so sad and terrible. And then someday something's going to happen and change it. Someday. He says, you can lay it down, and my shipwrecked faith will never get me to shore. Can he find me here? Can he keep me from going under? It's just this sad, like, I don't even know if God's there kind of wording. And this is in all these songs. It's amazing when you look at the words. The songs sound so happy, but they're really, really terrible in some regard, in the regard that it's never met expectations. It's always waiting and watching and hoping. 10th Avenue North's song, I Have This Hope, says, was there purpose for the pain? Did I cry these tears in vain? I don't want to live in fear. I want to trust that you're near. Trust your grace can be seen. Trust your grace can be seen. In both triumph and tragedy, but sometimes my faith feels thin. Like the night never ends. Will you catch every tear or just leave me here? Again, this song, these lyrics are all about pain and living in fear, but I have to trust that your grace can be seen. Apparently, with that wording, this person thinks they are not seeing God's grace, trusting that it can be seen even though I'm not. And then, talking about his faith feeling thin and the night and will never end. Again, it's like, man, where's your Christianity? Where is our Christianity if this is how we feel about life at this moment? Where is it? Hillsong's song Oceans, Where Feet May Fail. This is a pretty good song, actually. Most of the lyrics were really good, but again, there's this hint of I can't find you, and there I find you in the mystery. There's mystery in oceans deep. My faith will stand, but it's again, it's like it's mysterious. Again, why is God so mysterious? He gave us a whole book. I mean, there's so much that's not mysterious. Even if you don't understand everything in the Bible, we feel defeated as Christians because of these things, I guess. Mandisa's new song, Unfinished, she's not scared to say it. I used to be the one preaching to you that you could overcome, saying that she said thought you could overcome. I still believe it, but it ain't easy, because that world I painted where things work out, it started changing and I started having doubts. So she's saying things aren't working out. I thought I could overcome. Things aren't working out. It's got me so down. I picked myself back up, and I started telling me, no, my God's not done. He's making a masterpiece, or making me a masterpiece. He's still working on me. He started something good. I'm gonna believe it. He's gonna complete it. He just ain't through. I'm just unfinished. Again, yet another song, and this is from a different perspective. It's talking about the work that God does in each of us in sanctifying us by helping us understand Him more and more day by day. But she's saying it's not through. I'm unfinished, and He started it, but it's not done yet. It's just not, because I feel horrible. She's essentially saying, I've got all these doubts and I feel terrible all the time. I feel horrible. But it's just because He's not done, apparently. I'm waiting on something. Again, we're waiting. We're waiting. It's unrequited expectations. It's really sad when you put it all together. This Mercy Me song, I Can Only Imagine, says, I can only imagine what it'll be like when I walk by your side. Now, this song, again, the lyrics are great. And, I like this song. I actually think I may have sung this song in church before. As a solo, but again, it's just, you got to realize there's nothing wrong with the song, but it's wrong with all the songs. Do you understand what I'm getting at? It's like all of them have this, I am not ready, the kingdom's not here, I'm waiting on Christ, I'm waiting, everything's bad, I'm waiting. All right. Hillary Scott and the Scott family, the song Still. Sometimes I still try to take control, but I get scared when I can't see the end. They're waiting. They can't see the end. And know that you are God. Be still. Know that you trust your parting waters, even though apparently this person singing can't see that happening. Can't see God's work at all, but I'm trusting that you are anyway. Lord, you whispered my name, answered my prayer. You're moving mountains. Again, we're trying to move mountains, but we can't, and we don't see them moving. But we're going to sing songs about trusting God to move mountains, even though we're not seeing that. You're moving mountains that I don't even see. You've answered my prayer before I speak. And these just keep going. And this is just the top 15 songs. I think that I've made the point so far on that, but you can see Natalie Grant's clean. I'm shattered. You're restoring me, but it's going to take a long time before me to be clean. Lauren Daigle's trust in you. You don't move the mountains again. We're moving mountains. We can't move the mountains. I'm needing you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give answers, I would cry out, I'll trust in you, even though I see no evidence of you moving. That's what she's saying in the song. No evidence whatsoever. In her song Come Alive, the Dry Bones, now she sings about coming alive and a revival, but it's interesting. She's praying for the victory, but we're trusting God for victory in the future. But then we call out to dry bones.